All right, let's talk about Artemis II. It's been over half a century. I mean, really think about that for a second, since humanity has journeyed out into deep space. Well, that's all about to change. This mission is going to loop around the moon, giving a whole new generation a perspective on our world that's been lost for decades. So let's dive into the story of this incredible quest, the one that's reopening our path to the cosmos.
Just look at that. Seriously, take a moment. After more than 50 years, this is the view that the Artemis II crew will get to see with their own eyes. You know, it's such a powerful and honestly a humbling reminder of just how long it's been since we've gone this far out.
The last time humans left what you could call the cradle of low Earth orbit was way back in 1972 for the Apollo 17 mission. So Artemis II is set to officially end that 50-plus year pause. It's a huge step, a monumental step, really, in our return to deep space.
So, who are these modern-day pioneers? Who are the 4 astronauts crewing the Orion spacecraft on this historic journey? Let's meet them.
This crew is just incredible. They represent a whole series of amazing firsts, and it really shows you this new, more inclusive era of space exploration we're in. You've got Commander Reed Wiseman leading the charge. The pilot, Victor Glover, is set to become the first person of color to travel beyond low Earth orbit. Then there's Christina Koch, the first woman ever to fly a lunar mission. And, representing the Canadian Space Agency, Jeremy Hansen will be the very first non-American to make this trip. What a team.
But here's the thing. Getting this amazing crew to the launch pad was anything but easy. The road to Artemis II was, well, it was paved with some pretty serious technical hurdles and a lot of delays.
You know, this mission was supposed to fly much earlier, but the dates just kept slipping. It went from an initial window between 2019 and 2021, then got pushed to 2023, then to late 2025, before they finally locked in a launch for April 2026. This timeline alone just shows you the immense perseverance it takes to pull off something this big.
And we're not talking about minor hiccups here. After the uncrewed Artemis I mission, engineers found that the heat shield, the single most critical part for getting home safely, had eroded in unexpected ways. That discovery alone kicked off months and months of intense investigation. And on top of that, there were issues with Orion's life support system and these nagging hydrogen leaks during rehearsals. It's totally clear why they took their time. When you're talking about crew safety, you just don't rush it.
But with all those challenges finally tackled and every single system triple-checked, the stage is finally set. We're looking at an ambitious 10-day flight test that's going to take 4 people farther from Earth than anyone has ever been before.
So here's a quick look at their incredible 10-day game plan. It all kicks off on day 1 with the launch and then a super thorough systems check in high Earth orbit. Then on day 2, they basically hit the gas for the moon and start that long coast. The big climax happens around day 6 with the lunar flyby. And by day 10, they'll be back home, splashing down safe and sound in the Pacific Ocean.
Now, those first few hours of the mission, they're like a complex and perfectly timed dance. After that mind-blowingly powerful SLS launch, the crew will settle into this unique high Earth orbit to test out the spacecraft. And there's this really cool part called the Proximity Ops Demo. That's where Victor Glover will actually fly Orion manually, kind of like a test drive in space, using the old rocket stage as a target. It's only after every single system gets a green light that Mission Control will give them the final go to head for the moon.
And that incredible journey is all leading up to a moment that no human has experienced in person for over 50 years, seeing our planet, our home, from behind the moon.
On this mission, the crew is going to travel a staggering 252,756 miles from home. And that's not just a big number, it's a new record. They are going to officially break a record that stood for 56 years, one set by the crew of Apollo 13, for the farthest humans have ever been from planet Earth.
You know, we always think of the moon as just, well, gray. But the astronauts will be sharing their own direct observations, giving us this fresh human perspective. One crew member actually noted during a simulation, "The more I look at the moon, the browner and browner it looks." It's these small, real moments of discovery that make human exploration so special.
So you know that famous Earthrise photo from Apollo 8, right? The one that was a total surprise, a spontaneous moment of awe. Well, the Artemis II crew is going to capture an Earthset, but this time it's a carefully planned event. Think of it as a modern counterpoint, a deliberate and probably very emotional look back at our home as it sinks below the lunar horizon.
And astronaut Christina Koch just captured the feeling of that moment perfectly. Thinking about seeing Earth from that far away, she said, "Ultimately, we will always choose Earth. We will always choose each other." I mean, what a profound thought. It really gets to the heart of what these journeys are all about.
Okay, so beyond the breathtaking views, Artemis II has some critical tech to put through its paces. And one of the most important is basically a modern-day version of celestial navigation. It's a vital backup system for making sure they can get home if they ever lost communication with Earth.
It's called optical navigation, or OpNav for short. And what it is a smart camera system that snaps pictures of the Earth, the Moon, and the stars behind them. By analyzing those images, it can figure out Orion's exact position in space, all on its own, without any help from mission control. And that's so crucial because on future missions, say to Mars, the crew has to be self-reliant. This is their deep space GPS.
A single OpNav pass is a really methodical process. First, the camera warms up for about an hour. Then, it calibrates itself by taking pictures of distant star fields just to get its bearings. And finally, it spends about 2 hours imaging its target, either Earth or the Moon, to figure out exactly where it is. And these right here, these are the kinds of images the OpNav system will actually be taking. By processing these pictures of our home and our nearest cosmic neighbor, the system provides that essential navigation data, making sure the crew always has a map back to Earth, no matter what happens.
So, after this historic 10-day journey is all said and done, what does it all mean? Where do we go from here?
It's so important to remember this. For all its incredible achievements and all the records it's going to break, Artemis II is, at its core, a test flight. It's a flyby. It's designed to prove, without a shadow of a doubt, that the Orion spacecraft and all its systems are ready for what's coming next.
And what's coming next is Artemis III, and that's not a flyby. That's a landing. That's the mission that will once again put human boots on the lunar surface. Artemis II is going to prove the ride is ready. So the question that leaves us with is a big one. Are we ready to leave footprints again?